Hey, Melissa Stedman, first one in. Hey, Car Thief News, welcome. Oh, we have a train coming in. Heading eastbound. We'll give it a couple of minutes to pass through here, guys. I don't think she did. Good citizen media, welcome in, brother. Hey, free to stay, welcome in, man. Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. I appreciate it. We'll go ahead and get started after this train passes through here. There it is. Hey, Durkee and Maye, the Goldie. Hope I'm saying that right. Welcome in. And we'll always welcome new faces in here. All right, without further ado, guys, we're in chapter 5. Chapter 5, ladies and gentlemen, Tombstones Entertainment Tonight. Okay. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. From its inception, Tombstone demanded entertainment. The Arizona Daily Star reported on March 1879 that Billy Brewster's minstrels were elated with their trip to Tombstone. Miss May Bell, who played Cousin Hebe in the HMS Pinafore, was better known as Josephine Sarah Marcus, who later became the third Miss Wyatt Earp. Tombstone's most celebrated theater, the Birdcage Theater, offered gambling, liquor, vaudeville entertainment, and ladies of the night. AJ, welcome in. Welcome in. In 1882, the New York Times referred to the Birdcage as the roughest, bawdiest, and most wicked night spot between Basin Street and Barbary Coast. Ladies of the night plied their trade in cribs suspended from the ceiling. Shiflin Hall offered legitimate theater to the more genteel class. When Tombstone's boom turned to bust in 1889, the Birdcage was sealed and boarded up with all furnishings intact. For the first Eldorado celebration in 1929, it reopened as a unique historic landmark with all the fixtures, furnishings, and gambling tables dating from its boomtown days. Shiflin Hall and the Birdcage are all that remain of the several theaters that flourished in Tombstone's boom times. Hey, eat your broccoli. Hey, Melissa, thank you. Appreciate that. Got a good audience in here. I used to love the ladies of the night, but only the really dirty dirt leg ones. Dude. Tombstone 1909 was very much a settled community. The handsome two-story white building to the left is Shiflin Hall. The town was going through economic difficulties after water closed the mines, but the mining hoist is still very much in evidence at the right. Hey, welcome in, Eminem. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys, all you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Go ahead and we'll make you guys mods here. Eminem, you're a mod. And Car Thief News, you are a mod. This image shows Tombstone theaters as they appeared after the boom times. I actually have a Fremont Street here too. Shortly after the Birdcage Theater opened, lyricist Arthur Lamb pointed to the cribs and said, "Those women are like birds in a gilded cage." Eddie Foye replied, "Sounds like a title to a song." In 1900, Lamb gave the lyrics, "She's only a bird in a gilded cage," to Harry von Tilzer for musical arrangement. Lamb gave the song to a beautiful female singer at the Birdcage who sang the song to a roaring crowd that brought her back for several encores. After the famous singer Lillian Russell sang "She's Only a Bird in a Gilded Cage," it became one of the most popular songs of the 19th century. Okay, Shiflin Hall, constructed in 1881, was a two-story adobe building with a seating capacity of 700 and a 40-foot wide stage. It was also the home of the King Solomon Lodge of free and accepted Masons. Arizona Daily Star described the Colorado scene on the drop curtain as a work of art. I kind of sprinkled here a little bit, and once you know it, the sun will come out and the damn mosquitoes. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm just trying to shoo them away as I'm reading here. The Crystal Palace Saloon began as the Warfritz building where Deputy U.S. Marshal Virgil Earp had his office facing Allen Street. Later, the name was changed to the Fredericksburg Lager Beer Depot, which served as a delicious free lunch provided the customer bought and drank beer with the meal. The owner decided to give the place a touch of class by importing and using crystal stemware. They changed the name to the Crystal Palace Saloon. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. One damn annoying mosquito just keeps flying around by my freaking arm here. The interior of the Birdcage Theater is shown here in a painting by Ross Stephan, described as a one-stop sin shop. The Birdcage provided entertainment, good whiskey, tolerable water, and wild women. William J. Hutchinson, a co-manager of Tombstone's 6th Street Opera House and a vaudeville performer, purchased the site for $600 in 1880. By the end of 1881, the construction of the Birdcage was completed. On December 23rd, its doors opened to the public. Oh my goodness. Hey, Rosie Things, welcome in. Yeah, yeah, I know. Gambling and drinking. I used to like playing poker. That one was good. You have a few drinks and get your game face on and everything else. All right. Every Tombstone saloon had roulette wheels along with faro and poker tables, and the games went on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They parted cowboys and soldiers from their pay, miners from gold dust, and those who happened to be in town from their savings. The gambling business was to enrich the saloon keeper, his stable of soiled doves, and the professional gamblers. If the gambler had to use lead, he so did with the intention to kill. A wounded man might return to avenge hurt feelings. Cockfights, a sport imported from Mexico, provided entertainment in early Tombstone. Hundreds of dollars were bet on a favorite rooster. The referee announced the contestants and their past records, then to setter two or manager of each cock brought his rooster into the pit. At the appropriate signal, each man placed his bird on the ground. The roosters would jump at each other and draw blood with their spurs. At the death of a bird from the loss of blood, the other was pronounced the victor. Doing some rooster fighting there. Nellie Boyd, the first dramatic actress to appear in Tombstone, opened with Fanchan the Cricket at Ritchie's Hall. Tombstone newspapers lauded the versatile actress who claimed to have run away from a convent to seek a career on stage. In her audience on December 4th, 1880, there were 10 men who had shotguns loaded and ready if needed in case land speculators James Clark and Mike Gray appeared. Mayor Alder Randall had conveyed the Tombstone town site to Gray and Clark without permission from the town council. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were. Quite all right. Quite all right, car thief. That's all right. Nola Forest, described as a premier danseuse at the Birdcage, caused quite a stir in Tombstone with her amorous adventures. Her ardent fan, bookkeeper J.P. Wells, embezzled $800 to keep his lady love in jewels. Subsequently, Nola made up with her husband Billy, and the couple left Tombstone for Tucson and Colorado. Wells subsequently took up with another woman. He drowned in the Gila River in 1881. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, damn it. Excuse me, guys. Trying to squash this damn mosquito here. All right. Magician and showman Charles Uncle Charlie Andress had performed a rough western mining camp since he was 12. The shows included The Performing Fleas and The Learned Pig. He got quite a start when, during a performance of Uncle Tom's Cabin, a drunk cowboy shot one of his bloodhounds chasing the character Eliza across a river. When the cowboy sobered up, he was properly penitent and cried over the dead dog. Years later, Andress, the proprietor of the Andress Carnival of Novelties and Trained Animal Show, recalled that the cowboy offered him money and a horse in recompense. You son of a bitch. Same damn mosquito keeps flying around. I want to get that son of a bitch. Alright. Banana Anna, welcome. I appreciate you coming in. This is from, I'm in Wilcox, but this is from Tombstone, which is another town nearby. Frederick Ward toured the American West with his Shakespearean group. After checking on advanced ticket sales, he canceled his Tombstone engagement in 1885 rather than perform at a loss. The great vaudeville actor Eddie Foye was born Edwin Fitzgerald on March 9th, 1856 in Village, New York, and died on February 16th, 1928 in Kansas City, Missouri. In Dodge City, his habit of poking fun at the rough miners, gamblers, and gunfighters got him doused in a horse trough. His immediate return to stage endeared him to the audience, and after that, he could do no wrong. Eddie Foy's repertoire included poverty-inspired Irish two acts and lavish musical comedies. His indigent childhood in New York's Bowery and in Chicago toughened him from the uphill climb as a vaudeville artist at Western outposts such as Tombstone. Hey, tapatíos. Bienvenido, señor. After the death of Eddie Foy's wife, the ballerina Madeline Morando, he put his 7 children, 4 boys and 3 girls, into his act so he could retain custody. He became known as the Seven Little Foys. When his son Brian visited Tombstone in the 1930s, he recalled with nostalgia the days that he had spent there and almost bought the entire town. Eddie Foy viewed the Western stage as an escape essential for men who spent grueling days in the blistering sun. All right. Literally almost surrounded with my camp. Yeah, we got a good group of people here. Yeah, Tapatios. Yeah, it's pretty cool here, man. Bones Brannon grew up in Tombstone, the son of a jerk line driver for 24 mule teams. Gambling was considered a legitimate profession, and Bones believed that he was born to deal the bank. He felt that a public school education was a waste of time. He dealt his first game from a faro box that he made out of an old cigar box. He took up with a woman known only as Della. By age 22, Bones had become an expert dealer. Drinking and heavy losses put him in jail and at work on the chain gang. Bones took Della and found work in the Bisbee Saloon. Before long, they headed for Nevada's boom at Tonopah. John Bauer, also known as the Dutch Kid, was as handsome a man as ever graced a Tombstone faro table. He was paid $25 for a 6 hour shift. After 6 hours, gamblers tended to get tired and careless, and they might make the kind of costly mistakes that could cost them their money and their lives. The games run with a highly flexible code of ethics, were as crooked as the house could get away with. Thus, the gamblers would display a 45 and keep a smaller gun, known as the pepper box, on their person or under the table where it could easily be fired. Oh, a pepper box. All right. Johnny Speck, shown here with his son Johnny, was a co-owner of the Crystal Palace. From time to time, he would deal cards himself. During Tombstone's heyday, 14 faro banks advertised that they never closed. A man could lose his money at any time he pleased. Rowdy Joe Lowe ran a dance hall, and he could take care of obstreperous customers. He was well known around town for starting and finishing his own fights. Bat Masterson considered Rowdy Joe amongst the most proficient gunfighters because of his expertise with a pistol, careful deliberation, and cool assessment of a dangerous situation. It looked like the Monopoly guy there a little bit. Tombstone remembered him only as the French Count. French he was, but a count he probably was not. Okay, this man pimped. This man pimped for the madams of the French body houses each month. He brought in new girls and took the old ones to different locations. He also collected a percentage of the money. He appears to have had connections in most of the western mining camps. He was often heard to argue loudly, but the arguments were always in French, and no one in Tombstone knew whether they were serious or not. This guy was a pimp, y'all. Each madam had to pay $4 a month to run a house of ill fame in Tombstone. Dutch Annie had her license signed by James Duncan, the city clerk, and Mayor Abraham Emanuel. This is their city license, guys. This is what it looked like. Looked like he got smacked a couple of times. Okay, the soiled doves of Tombstone relax with sewing and chatting before going to work from noon until dawn. Most of the houses had a standard fee of $10 for a session and around $25 for an overnight. Exceptionally beautiful women and women who possessed special skills could command higher prices. The girls had 1 day a week off. In Tombstone, the girls were required to bathe at least 3 times a week. Well, geez, you'd think you'd have to wash out, wash yourself out. Hell, you'd be passing on any leftovers to the next customer. Jeez. Damn, these books are getting a little raunchy, man. I'm telling you. Crazy Horse Lil was a big, tough madam. Most of Tombstone's houses of ill repute tried to give an aura of refinement. But this did not apply to wherever Crazy Horse Lil worked her trade. She liked to get roaring drunk and fight with her man, Con O'Shea. Fights kept her in jail much of the time. She and Con finally left Tombstone for the new mining camp at Lowell, where she became the madam of a large house and lived in high style. She is credited with saying the wages of sin are a damn sight higher than the wages of virtue. In Lowell, Crazy Horse and Con staged robberies of their own house. It was a while before anyone caught on to the fact that they were getting 50% of the take and that the goods were being returned to them. This one's a short one, guys. Little passenger train there. 1886, Joe and Malda Big Minnie Bignon took over the birdcage. Joe had been a minstrel and circus performer before settling in Tombstone around 1882. Tombstone newspapers acclaimed him as an excellent clog dancer. On May 5th, 1889, he married pianist and dancer Malda Bouton. Birdcage usually featured a variety of performances, but Joe also staged wrestling and boxing matches. He left Tombstone briefly and operated a theater in Phoenix. He returned to Tombstone, where he operated a theater and dealt in real estate and mining properties in the Dragoon Mountains until his death on December 6, 1925. Malda Big Minnie Bignon stood 6 feet tall and weighed over 200 pounds. Minnie had a sweet personality and a big heart, but she also acted as a bouncer. The Prospector in 1889 reported that a Mexican wood chopper laid a wood nickel on the bar and expected a whiskey. The barkeep expressed displeasure and a fight ensued. Some offered to fetch the sheriff to toss out the wood chopper, but Minnie said, "Why bother? I'll put him out myself." With those words and a hammerlock, the wood chopper found himself on the street. Minnie frequently put on a dance in pink tights that always drew a huge ovation. Big Minnie died on August 6, 1900. Well, she took care of business herself. You didn't even have to go get the sheriff or the lawman there. She could just take care of the business herself. No need for that. Mae Davenport, who came to Tombstone as a carnival girl, was one of the few working girls who left us her last name. She worked in Tombstone as a prostitute before opening her own house, Mae's Place, in Cananea, Mexico, a short distance south of the border. Cananea experienced a mining boom and a nice parlor house was in order there. Man, goddamn. So these damn mosquitoes are coming out, man. Blonde Mary was a French madam and got her calls from the Count. The ambiance of her house was more refined than most. Blonde Mary had no bar, so there was no drunken fights. If someone needed a bottle, she would send out for it, but never took a drink herself. She was picky about her customers, serving only big mining and cattlemen. During her period in Tombstone, she made trips back to France and returned with new girls and new clothes. In the 1890s, Blonde Mary packed her clothes and jewels, boarded a stagecoach, and set sail for France for the last time. Oh no, no, it's just the damn mosquitoes, man. They're damn pesky as hell. As soon as their brains or something and the sun comes out, here they come. They're all flying around my damn arms here. Clothes and hose. Okay, Dutch Annie, like many others in her profession, took on a name that reflected her physical characteristics. Like many other madams, Dutch Annie would frequent the gambling tables and like to buck the tiger, go for broke. If she lost, well, there were always other ways of getting her money back. She was also an angel, if somewhat fallen, and she helped Tombstone with money during hard times. When Dutch Annie died, no one knew her real name, but Tombstone turned out en masse to bury her in Boot Hill with dignity. More than 1,000 buggies followed her to her final resting place. Esmeralda arrived in Tombstone after a stint in Virginia City. When Tombstone fell on hard times, she moved on to Rawhide. All right. Okay. Emma, or Cora Davis, became one of the most famous madams of Tombstone. She was 35 years old when she arrived in Tombstone, and she was still handsome and had fine manners. Her girls were far above average in appearance, and many were accomplished musicians. Davis insisted on total honesty in her dealings. If a customer got too drunk, his valuables were taken and he received a receipt for them. When he left, his personal possessions were returned to him. Mary or Mars DuPont was another Tombstone madam. And that concludes chapter 5, guys. Tomorrow we'll be doing chapter 6, the law and the outlaw. But I do thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate y'all very much. Even though the mosquitoes were being quite pesky today. And I need to give me some damn off or something. Some of that deep wood shit. That other stuff, it don't even work. The stuff in the orange can. Jeez. But yeah. Glad you guys enjoyed the trains. The story. And I enjoyed you guys' company very much. I appreciate you guys. And hey, adjust your focus. Welcome in. I'm just about to close it out here. So thank you all very much. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get sucked dry by these damn mosquitoes. Alright guys. I appreciate y'all very much. This is Jose G here in Wilcox, guys. Yes, 5 p.m. tomorrow.